Greetings. So where are these where are these elect chosen ones with a high level of supernatural protection? I'm hunting those. I want to know where I got to find out where they're at. I don't want to fuck around and find out the hard way. You know, I understand that words are spells and what they put goes back on them. And oh, thank you. Well, legendary comments. Anyway, thank you for that. I don't know who you are. I don't know what you want, but I have a certain set of skills that make me a nightmare for people like you. And it's only because you never know what you're going to get when you send me stuff. So I do believe in the cards. At one time, spiritual work had been done in Peru. That's when I was watching that. That was the first thing I thought of was, wasn't there spiritual work done in Peru? So I would say look for natural disasters in the Peru area. Can't do anything about that. Now, as far as California goes, when I was in the Lancaster area and just all in through there, you got to think the only thing that I ever heard from someone, Californians, they don't help people, but they do constantly say, hey man, break me off. Hey man, break me off. And we understand how words are spells. Hey man, break me off. And that's probably why God's just going to break California off into the ocean before too long. So they keep speaking it into existence. They're manifesting it. Break me off. Californians don't help people. Break me off. That's what it is. Break me off into the ocean. I can't do anything. I can't do anything about that. However, yes, that's sad what happened in Lancaster. Sending me anything from California is going to immediately make me think of a strip mall in Sacramento that is home to a skating rink and an old real estate mogul she adopted like 20 blonde girls. It was like 20, it was like the Village of the Damned. Anyway, there's a lot of that in California. Anyway, that's direct connection to that jinn that they're talking about. And I would say that, any kind of, that whole area when I was there just had a very dark evil to it. And it's what it is. I mean, if you were to take anything you saw of jinn possession in Islam, like in caves and shit, that's kind of what it looked like, but on a city level. So it's simple enough. Anyway, and thank you for sending me the stuff about the witchcraft. There's nothing really better than sitting here talking about the celebrity involvement with witchcraft, and then y'all send me that stuff. However, keep in mind that is a direct thing to they're trying to save face by sacrificing the little snakes. All the big shit's done at a higher level, and we're going to make sure that they get that tenfold immediately. Sacrificing the little snakes does nothing more than sacrifice the big ones. It takes care of that shit. So I can't do anything about that. I can't do anything about Aaron picking up speed along the East Coast. I can't do anything about everyone in California wanting them to break me off. It's not about me. It's not about me. It's about others, and they just don't care about others. I mean, when I have a public official tell me that Californians don't help people, well, yeah, and that's probably why God's going to break them off in the ocean. Break me off some. Break me off some. That's what it is. I can't do anything about that. I cannot do anything about that. What I can do, though, is look for these elect individuals with high power, supernatural, whatever you're talking about, because I don't want to fuck around and find out. I don't want to go back into another 8-year downward spiral of, oh, fuck. So it is. And no matter how hard demons try to pull you down, you can't pull me down. No. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I'll tell you once more before God floods your floor, don't bring me down. Anyway, so destiny swapping gone horribly wrong. Okay, great. That's what it is. And I mean, it went horribly wrong for them. That was the whole divine purpose. That's what it is. God allowed it. Trigger demons wanted to destiny swap. Pisces sun water, Leo rising 7 rings of fire, Saturn, and Gemini moonshine was a temptation. They were tempted. The divine tempted the devil, and the devil took the bait. And it's just what it is. I can't do anything about the divine catching the devil. It has nothing to do with me. However, I mean, if you have triggered demons and the divine used the earth angel for bait, and then they tried to sacrifice the bait, and the divine caught him, like, no, you don't get that bait. We're gonna send them more. We're going to send them more out of your way. And now that you're down there, you're just going to continue going down there. It's just what it is. You're on a downward spiral. We're spiraling out of control. They're spiraling into control. That's what it is. They're people. You have to control people like that. It's just what it is. I can't do anything about that. I can't do anything about that. God got us all that it is. Angels, archangels, ascended masters, the divine white light. Ask it to be a clear and infinite channel for your wisdom at this time for myself as well as those I do readings for. Namaste. And that's what it is. I mean, you got to think this entire aspect of ascending to the new earth, to where we're watching it play out before our eyes. Okay, cool. So now the idea is, who got left behind? Because my concern is, if you had a large group of corrupt parasites talking about chosen one shit, earth angel shit, and then they were a part of trying to sacrifice that shit, then chances are with God they're in deep shit. And I can't do anything about that. God, the Most High is always in charge. And it's what it is. I mean, knowing that the Most High is in with each one of them, and it does make me think back, in shamanism, they didn't like photography. They didn't like cameras because they spiritually felt like that captured your soul. And then when I keep seeing 1111 everywhere, that is basically like the universe taking a snapshot of your subconscious for manifestation purposes, part of manifesting with angel numbers. So when I correlate the two together based on shamanic beliefs as the oldest form of spirituality, yeah, it's going to be tons of geeks, freaks, and fears. Anyway, geeks and freaks and fear. Anyway, that tells me that if the divine is using the earth angel's light or God force energy to create instant karma, and that's what they say, when the earth angel pops into your reality, it's a lesson or a blessing with karma or dharma tenfold. That would be like the light when it triggers their demons. It'd be like the universe taking a snapshot of their soul, and then they have to sit with the picture that they're in. Back in the painting, Vigo. It's what it is. I can't do anything about that. I can't. We're all on our own journey, but yet everyone is considered about someone else's. They want to ride someone else's coattails instead of their own. And if they don't have any coattails to ride, no one can ride your coattails. And it's just what it is. That's why I work one-on-one with people. It works out better for me that way. It's just where you don't have these group collaborations with the weakest link in the situation ending up being sacrificed, and then God getting mad and sending Aaron to pick up speed down the East Coast. It's just what it is. I can't do anything about that. when I gave them the first natural disaster named after someone in my family, that should have told them fucking stop, no, and don't was imminent at that point. And they kept on. They kept on and kept on and kept on and kept on. When you want to win at all costs, you're telling the universe that you will win when you have absolutely nothing. It's just what it is. You want to win at all costs. So what are you winning? Everything. You're losing everything. They're stupid. Can't do anything about that. That's why I don't compete. So why compete where they don't compare? And I can't do anything about that. You got to think it was when the earth angel isn't even supposed to be here anymore. Cool. I want to find that earth angel. I'm not worried about people that God's going to be punishing. God's got that under control. God's got the punishment factor under control. That's what it is. He sends Aaron to pick up speed. He lets all the Californians get what they manifested. Break me off. Okay, God is going to break you off into the ocean. It's simple enough. It's not hard to understand. Words are spells. They command. You're commanding the universe. And it's what it is. I can't do anything about that. Keep ascending. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep ascending and looking for other people that are ascending, because it's obvious we have ascended into union with the divine white light and left all of that shit behind. Now, and I mean, that's kind of what's one supernatural factor to all of it. If someone is triggered, then that means I'm triggering their demon, and they would need an exorcism at that point. There's nothing I can do about that. There's nothing I can do about that. When y'all are talking about the elixir of life or universal life force energy, I mean, it's just what it is. When you've got groups that have been harvesting that energy, and you've got readers saying, Pisces, call your energy back. That, yes, I'm telling you, they did moon magic on you. I get an email from the devil every month. Every month, a devil sends me an email about the cycles of the moon, and I would assume that, and whether they even consciously know that they're doing it, I'm sure they do, because they care more about money than people. That's what it is. And you got to think, everyone I invested in, it's just what it is. That was the whole point of stealing the intellectual property. You talk to them, you give them ideas, and then they do. They go to ruin it. They create an email campaign or whatever with the shit you were talking about with them. And then you'll, ooh, I got it first. No. You got karma is what you got. Is fucking Ask Aaron picking up speed over on your side of the planet. I can't do anything about that. I am not responsible for Tropical Storm Dexter after blood rituals. I'm certainly not responsible for Aaron picking up speed going down the East Coast. I haven't even been to the East Coast in a long time. Anyway, I'm not responsible for rain booms in Washington State. It's just what it is. It's karma, and no one is safe. Except the Archangel. They have supernatural spiritual protection. It's what they're saying. That's what they say. So, I mean, I'm looking for the others with supernatural spiritual protection. Number one, so I don't fuck around and find out and get karma again. So I'm not doing all this over again. I am very, very, very well aware of reincarnation. And that's what it is. I'm not doing this shit again. Do you really want to do all of this over again? Maybe Aaron will be waiting for you, picking up speed on the West Coast. Maybe Tropical Storm Dexter will be waiting for you. Maybe you'll be born with a mom that'll wrap you in saran wrap. You just don't know. You don't know. And, you see the guy from Peru in Lancaster carrying something large through the apartment complex. Expect people to be losing their minds. It's just what it is. That's why we're just, looking for people that aren't losing their minds, that have spiritual protection, that have done the work. That are cleansing their energies, that are manifesting, things of that nature. Because when you have a group that's on the other side of the hedges, and they're all in chaos and calamity and fighting and this, that, and the other, it's just what it is. You got to expect that. My number one thing is anyone with a business that has 5-star reviews. Okay, great. That's has nothing to do with me. That's their 5-star reviews. Right? And trying to use my past against me. They're still where I left them. That's all they know. Simple. We have grown and they stay. That's what I like about these karmic humans. I keep getting older and they stay the same way. A high school mentality. I can't do anything about that shit. Cards in the upright? No. Cool. Flip around. So what's the story on these destiny swappers? What's the focus? Yeah, no wonder. It's just what it is. I mean, when you keep speaking those things into existence, hey, break me off. It's just what it is. God's going to break you off into the ocean. Simple enough. And then keep in mind, I mean, anyone that's Californians don't help people. That's what someone sworn to serve and protect told me. Said the only difference between me and you is I haven't got caught. And Californians, we don't help people. Yeah, I'm glad you told me that. I appreciate that. So our intentions will be going forward while you're broke the fuck off into the ocean because God doesn't help Californians, obviously. It's just what it is, yeah. We need to beware of no further actions that should be taken against the divine. It's just what it is. I can't do anything about that. You got to keep in mind, they're talking about the person and not the light that's protecting that individual. It's what it is, and what they put out goes back on them. So, and with group force, you got to think that's what this entire cover up is all about. They're looking for everything they can to blame someone else other than themselves. And I've made every mistake possible to make this light bulb come on. That's what it is, and left all their asses behind. So, leaving all of their asses or all their behinds and asses. So you leave all their behinds and asses. It's just what it is, and continue thriving. Look at that. I mean, that's when you have that much energy within the tarot community about, masters ascending on this planet. Great. Where are those ascended masters that have ascended into divine white light union? Where are those individuals? Because it's what it is. I mean, when the student's ready, the teacher appears, and it's what it is. I'm sure I have a lot to learn. I mean, the key to enlightenment is knowing just how much you don't know about these groups that are in chaos and calamity that got left behind in the lake of fire. Simple enough. Yeah, no security, left behind in the lake of fire. I can't do anything about that. I can't do anything about that. I mean, as shocking as that's going to be, it's going to be, oh, we're chosen ones, we're earth angels, we're da da da. We tried to sacrifice one for cash and prizes. That's what it is. And yeah, I'll be calling my energy back. It's just what it is. Now, and my question is a message of concern, is that like a rug pull? Is that like yeah, because my interpretation of it, and yes, it does take some time. And now you've got readers talking about they didn't believe Pisces, and then Pisces started calling their energy back, and now they're in tragic turmoil, chaos, and calamity. So basically, my idea was like, if I come in, if you invite me in and I come in, or if I just fucking come in somewhere that's public domain, come into a platform, I come up to a platform and I'll lay down a tablecloth. And then, I step away and people come in and they start setting shit on my tablecloth. Don't even ask. They just come up. It's just what it is. I mean, it's an open platform with my tablecloth. But they just come, like if I put my tablecloth down and then I go out to the car to get my picnic basket and I come in like Yogi Bear and I start pulling stuff out of the picnic basket, and the fucking park ranger, he's just anyway. And pull everything out of my picnic basket, and I look over and there's like people's shit. People have got up on my tablecloth with their fucking boots on, took their boots off, left them on the tablecloth. It's just what it is. I mean, it's like, isn't that my tablecloth on the platform? That's my energy. That's my energy on the platform, and you got people wanting to swap, but they wanted to swap shit off at the top of my tablecloth that's on a public platform. I understand, but it's energy that affects them in ways they don't understand, because when I take my toys and I go home, I'm going to take the tablecloth with me. And it's what it, and then there's tower moments, stuff starts falling over. It's just what it is. It's chaos and calamity. It's tower moments left and right. What are you? She's a pelican. She's like a pelican. It's funny though. It is pretty funny. It's like having a cross between a hamster and a pelican. Pretty cool, huh? Anyway, so you ever seen a pelican like go down and just like scoop shit up out of the water? And that's another thing. Going into the age of Aquarius, that is the water bearer, with all of these floods and California breaking off into the ocean, it is good to remember that confirmation. Pisces swim 731. Run the numbers. Yep. No courage from the past. They went forward with zero courage. Amazing. They kind of hid behind the scenes. Groups and gaggles of cowards that are now having to deal with God. Yes, the Spirit is purifying these individuals. We don't have to purify them. Natural disasters are. Erin is running down. She's picking up speed. Erin is picking up speed all down the West Coast. Dexter has already taken care of those responsible for the blood rituals. It's just what it is. And I mean, you got to think about it. It's the same way. I mean, I've got a counter right here that talks about, Rob Lowe. Big names are coming to an area that's currently under judgment for Rob Lowe energy. They've been trying to rob Lowe. I pick them up and, I get front door Bonnie and back door Clyde on my ring cam. And that's just what it is. I mean, that shit has been in the cards. Are they still at it? Because y'all say that they're still at it. And it's just what it is. And if they're still at it, if the Bonnie and Clyde energy is still at it around the Earth Angel and has a whole community under judgment because they're vibrating at the frequency of Rob energy, and it's what it is. And if they're trying to rob a Lowe, you can only expect Rob Lowe to be showing up. Sweet, he's right here. That's what it is, right down the road. I got no problem throwing the celebrity chaos into the middle of my own. It's just what it is. Your third eye will start vibrating. It's what it is. I hear the third eye is lit, and it's just what it is. My thing is, we're looking for people with supernatural protection. We're looking for people that are making fucking magic happen, not talking about it. Because, I mean, those that are, I already understand that they're using these entities and deities and da 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 to get their dirty work because they think that's no 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 no. I came from under their feet and went over their head. I went straight to the Most High. It's just what it is. Dolores Cannon had a relationship with the higher consciousness that it's just what it is, and I knew that. I knew what the rules were to QHHT. I knew what the rules were dealing with clients. I knew what the rules were with working with the angels because that was Dolores Cannon's fear. She didn't know if she wanted to teach her technique to other people, and the angels were very specific. They're like, well, we won't work with you. And then lo and behold, I get into QHHT and, people start attacking the angelic Reiki master that works with the fucking angels. You've got to understand you can't do that. So we'll be thriving going forward, flying right through their chaos. How does Pisces know? Pisces works with angels, leadership. Simple enough. It's what it is. You can't have Dolores talking about working with angels in 117 countries and then sit back in America go, break me off. I know what I'm talking about. Break me off. I'm the most intelligent human being on the break me off. Break me off into the fucking ocean. Plain and simple. You're not a miracle. That's what it is. As sad as that is to say. I don't have any miracles happen in my life. Yes, that's why we're going to break you off into the ocean. That's why Aaron's picking up speed in the West Coast. Brought it upon yourselves. That's what it is. Right? And while Aaron's picking up speed and slamming that part of the world, and rain booms are taking out Washington with the catastrophic threat of more earthquakes over in California with 1,000-foot tsunamis and shit. Okay, great. I'm looking for the people with the supernatural spiritual protection that can pass my fucking test of no. I don't have to think anymore about whether or not this person is full of shit. They've already unmasked me as the human lie detector. So it's what it is. And when I hear Pisces is in lone wolf energy, well, I mean, Lowe does mean young wolf. You can Google that. It's just what it is. I mean, I would assume that if what you put out goes back on you and groups of humans try to sacrifice an earth angel and leave it for dead, then that would be God sacrificing groups of humans and leaving them for dead. I can't do anything about that. If I can talk to God, it's between them and God. I mean, when I've got war angels are knocking at these people's doors, it's a very simple question. Did you ascend? Did you do the work? Or are you in the middle of another karmic cycle? Because my understanding is a group all talking. If they curse themselves and all involved, then that would be all involved finding out that their teachers are dipped in conspiracy to unalive an earth angel energy. Sooner or later, that shit's going to come out. Okay, cool. Who ascended? It's very simple. We can't worry about those people. We can't worry about the groups in chaos and calamity with natural disasters taking them out. Can't worry about those people. So we have to worry about those with supernatural spiritual protection because that's in the cards. That's important. That other shit's not important. So people with supernatural spiritual protection, but healers that you got to think anytime you go to start an intuitive healing business, speaking truth, well, then you're always going to get people with no intuition that are completely unhealed, full of shit. That's what it is. I can't do anything about that. That's what it is. You start playing with Big Puma. You start playing with Big Perm. You start playing with Big Perm's pills. It's just what it is. The whole hospital becomes a tower. Simple enough. Tell you I'm going to tell this story again. So I don't get into the city council shit. I try not to. Anyway, I'm watching Karen with a dry erase marker. They gave Karen a dry erase marker and put a droog rep in front of her. And she's So you've got clinical trials on this one medication that was $2 to make that you're selling for $3, and it's 80% success rate in the clinical trials. But then you came out with this new shit that's like $17 and only 7% effective. They pushed that shit on the market. $1 million bonuses for everyone. Make it rain, baby. Make it rain. Break me off. Break me off another piece of that California bar. Namaste.